So it's the morning after a game, and since I got literally one request, I thought I would do a tour of this dungeon we've just played through, well, through most of, before I clear it all up. So you join me here in the sort of final chamber here. This is where the heroes got up to. There they are. There's Sir Carmine. There is Trevor the Arcane. Swing the camera around a bit better. There we go. There's Trevor. There is Veronica, and there is Zelendoni, and there is Zelendoni's familiar. And they're in this 30-foot by 30-foot chamber with the pentagram in the middle, glowing runes on it, and stacks of skulls. But how did they get here? Let's go back to the beginning of the dungeon, and I'll sort of take you through the route they took to get there. And where I can, I'll try and cut in still pictures taken during the game of the action as it occurred. So, after a short intro that involved seeing Trevor the Arcane's magic show, in the town market, they discovered a hole in a field just outside the city, which had fallen through into a previously unexplored section of the catacombs. And this is where they arrived in the dungeon, just here, in a ruined stairway type area. And they went along the corridor this way. Got to this bit. I'm not sure how clear this is going to come out on the camera, but there is a open pit there, a pressure plate, and a chest. Might need a little light to sort of shine down between the walls here. So there's the open pit there. There's the pressure plate, and there is the chest. And they decided to not really bother tackling that. So they went this way, into this chamber here, which has a statue in each corner. Well, there's in that corner, that statue is broken, and in the centre is a large round pit stretching down into the darkness below. And they mould over that a bit. And they decided to go for the stairs down there. Now, those stairs emerge here. I'm not sure how much this light is helping at this point, actually. Hold that above. Do my own lighting. Terrible. Right. And someone's messaged me. I'll get back to you later, whoever you are. Right. Yes, so there's stairs down. They arrive at this corridor. At that point, there was a portcullis. That's the portcullis, because they managed to raise it. And the way they raised it was Trevor the Arcane used his portal spell to put a portal on one side of it and a portal on the other. He then skipped through the portcullis, went over there, and pulled the lever. So this lever I've made functional. Can we see? Lighting is a problem. Do it from the back. Yep, this lever's functional. It's got magnets at the back there, so it's It's inspired by the levers seen in games like Legend of Grimrock and Dungeon Master. So yeah, they proceeded into this corridor here. You'll see there's a room looted marker there, which means they have searched it thoroughly. So then they came along this corridor here, and Sir Carmine cautiously leapt around this corner and right onto a spike trap. There's the spike trap, currently off board at the moment. And he ended up in a lot of pain. They never managed to disable the trap because they don't have a thief in the current party. So they all took turns sort of poking the trap to get the spikes to come up, and then quickly sneaking between the spikes. And they came off from that relatively unscathed. So, having got round there, they opened up into this chamber here, where they had a battle with a mother slime. Which they valiantly defeated, and then discovered it had the sort of baby slimes inside it, which then they had a further battle to. Right, so at this point they discovered, well, they had already discovered where this wall had collapsed away. There's also a demon door there they had a short conversation with, but didn't manage to open. They shone their lanterns through here and disturbed some mushroom herders. Zelandoni's familiar flew in and got hit by a spore attack. But apart from that, they didn't really bother going in there, and they backed back out again into this chamber, through there, over the spike trap, cautiously as they could, and into this chamber here with a statue in the middle on a plinth, and that was full of many, many skeletons. Battle ensued. And the skeletons were eventually defeated. Then they opened up that door there. Lighting is not easy to do like this. And discovered a crypt chamber full of old coffins, which was guarded by a fire elemental. Which again they defeated. Discovered a passage back into the herder cave there. Decided they weren't going to disturb the herders. So they went back through here, down those stairs there, which led them to this chamber here, before which they had to defeat a gazer. And yeah, that brings us back to the end of the adventure where we started. That makes sense. A few quick notes on the way I run the game. This is laid out as the adventurers explore, so there are actually various bits that haven't been laid out because the heroes haven't got to them, so they don't know what's on the other side of that demon door. So nothing there. And they didn't venture very far into the cave here, so there's a bit there that's been laid out because they haven't got to it. So everything you see laid out here is bits they have seen. Bits they have not seen do not get laid out. Just talk about a few things scattered around the table then, I guess. So this is some cards from the treasure deck here. A few in-jokes. A few mundane items, and there's a few treasures, and apparently there's too many Wandering Monster cards in there. But what are you gonna do? That's my herder models there. These are inspired by the creatures of the same name in Legend of Grimrock. And I actually scratch built these. These are made of garden wire and green stuff mostly. Quite pleased with those. Not pleased with this lighting at all though. Coffins there. They're chunks of balsa wood. Carved to look like coffins. So we got things of note. Initiative cards. This is how I run initiative, a row of cards. And into that I slot monster cards as we go. There's some rules reminders for myself there. There's a card for a skeleton. If I walk around here, I have that the right way up for you. Yep. Basic notes on the stats for a skeleton on there. Some dice, a few templates, measuring sticks. They're very useful because we run gridless and we use inches. 1 inch equals roughly 5 feet. You may notice on the way around there it's got a looted marker, which denotes a item of furniture has been individually looted. It's the lever. You can see the back of the mechanism there. It's all wire and magnets to get it to do that. Skull piles, you've seen those in previous videos, I think. There's a pentagram that's made by a company called Grendel. It's part of the Magic Users lab set, I think. I will post a link to that in the description below. What else we got? There we go. Might turn the top. Yeah, let's not have the light on. That is it's a forest elemental, which is made of a recycled Mage Knight figure. I believe that one was originally called the Wood Golem. It's probably not a particularly good picture I'm getting out of the video camera. Another forest elemental. This one's made of another recycled Mage Knight figure. This one was originally a living elemental, which is a bit closer to the concept. These are creatures summoned by our druid Zelandoni during the game. He's also got this Hedge of Thorns spell, which is represented by these. Markers. I made those out of branches from some woodland scenic trees. The round pit there, and let's see, I do need the light, don't I? And that open pit there are made by a company called Tabletop Towns, and I actually did the artwork for these. These are printed onto plasticard. I'll show you something cool about this, but it will require more hands than I have, so I'm going to put the light source down for a moment. So I'm going to pull that out of there, put it somewhere where there is light. Yeah, so open pit on that side. It's got these steel door details on there, and if you flip it over, Close Pit. It's inspired by the sort of puzzles you see in Legend of Grimrock, Dungeon Master, Eye of the Beholder, things like that. Nice piece of that. Very simple to use. Anything else to show you? This is of note. The demon door there. Let's shine a light on that. That is my attempt at sculpting a piece inspired by the old Citadel Magic Mouth doorway. I will try and cut a picture of that in here as well to show you. That's my version of it. It's sculpted in milliput. It's not the best sculpt out there, but it suffices. Did that a good 10 years ago now. I don't know if my sculpting's really improved that much since then. I mean, I'm quite pleased with the herders. They look nice, but they're a lot easier to sculpt because they're just like mushroom caps, basically, and the rest is all garden wire, a bit of super glue. The sort of collapsed in alcoves there. They're made of, well, gravel and a bit of plasticard basically, but very useful pieces those. You can give the feeling that a dungeon is bigger than the board you've got it set up on by using those for dead ends. That table in the middle there is from Mantic. So what else? Just a few things on the table really. Oh, it's a Gazer. That is a model originally produced by Black Tree Design, who you may also know in the distant past as Harlequin Miniatures. Originally it was supposed to be a beholder, so it had 10 eye stalks, but I cut 5 of them off to make a Gazer. Got a couple of late night Citadel skeletons there. Some tentacles that come up through grills. Again, inspired by Legend of Grimrock. A lot of stuff in this game was inspired by Legend of Grimrock. Those tentacles are from a creature produced by Ralpathy Europe. I can even post a link to that as well. And there's a fire elemental there. Scoot round a bit to show you that. That is a prototype miniature for a board game made by Solar Flare Games that didn't make it through Kickstarter. But the good news is that the final versions of these miniatures, there's a few others in the range. I'll post pictures of the prototypes in this video as well. Now the good news is, if you like those, that Impact Miniatures are actually going to produce those separately as ranges eventually. I'll keep you posted on that. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below. It's that little rhyme that people do on YouTube. Yeah, so a little tour of the dungeon there. Hope you found that interesting. If you did, yeah, let me know. I'll try and do some more stuff like this. I'd better clear all this up now, because I'm back to work tomorrow and I've got some stuff I want to do this afternoon. So, if you liked this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you subscribe to my channel, like this video. I need a goodbye catchphrase.